Students, welcome back. So, after knowing the poem Past, Present, Future, we are going to start with a new lesson, that is Odd One In. So, Odd One In is written by Titi Tavora, who was born in Pune in 1960 to Bengali parents. So, in this story is related to the reality about what we have done in our school days, our some memories of our school days. Okay. So, through this lesson, we will also learn to make connections between our lives and the story. We will learn to be friendly, helpful, and respectful towards others. We will learn not to judge external appearance. External appearance means the outward appearance of the people. And also, we will learn the vocabulary, okay, where we will learn the new words and phrases. So, Odd One In is a story of two girls. One is named Malti and the other is Rima. Rima is a fashionable girl and Malti is exactly the opposite of Rima. Rima has lived in a city while Malti is from a village. Now, these both have their strengths and weaknesses. So, let's read the story to find out how their journey was together. So, let's start with Odd One In. So, first we will read the passage. How was the first day of school? Asked mother as Rima sat down for dinner. Okay, Rima shrugged. No lessons, just settling in. And new girls in your class? Inquired her father, Mr. Sin. Only one, Malti, and she is funny, grimaced Rima as she helped herself to the salad. So, this is an incident of a school girl, where Rima's mother asked her daughter about her school. How was it? Yes, even when we go to school our first day, after coming back from school, our parents ask us, right? How was the first day of our school? She replied, as they all were having their family dinner. So Rima replied, as if she don't care, and said, no lessons were taught, only we were getting used to the new place. So her father also asked her, is there any new student in your class? There was one named Malti, and she was funny, replied Rima. She made a twisted expression on her face and took salad for herself. When our parents also ask us about some new friends, new teachers, we give them reply, right? We tell them about our new teachers, who are the new teachers, new subject teachers, our new friends, their names. Yes, and also on our first day, we also have no studies. We are just having new benches, new classrooms. Okay. So from this lesson, this paragraph here, what they are telling is that how Rima introduced her friend Malti to her parents. So in this passage, we are going to learn new words, that is shrugged. Shrugged means raise the shoulder slightly as a sign that one does not care for something. And the second word is grimaced. Grimaced means made a twisted expression on face to express. So we will learn next paragraph. Why do you say that? Asked Mr. Sen. She can't speak much English. She has come from another state, sniffed Rima, naming one at the other end of the country. Here, her father, that is Mr. Sen, questioned her, why you described Malti? She replied, she could not speak much English and in dislike manner means she don't have any manner to see. In making some ugly faces, she said that she had come from state that another end of the country. Moving forward to the next. Oh, children from that state are supposed to be clever. They are especially good at maths, said Mr. Sen quietly. Well, this one does not seem smart at all. Oily hair, bindi, and all. Good morning, teacher, mimicked Rima. So, quietly with an expression, father said, people from that state are smart and are good at maths. So, Rima judged Malti and said, she come to school with an oily hair and a bindi, and added how the way she talks. She said, good morning, teacher. So, in this paragraph, the new word is mimicked. Mimic means to copy one's behavior. Next. Her parents exchanged glances. Rima was their only child. They doted on her, but she could be insufferable at times. I do hope you and your friends will not make things too difficult for Malti, sighed Mr. Sen as he rose from the table. Rima and her gang had decided to just do that. Now here, Rima's parents were too tensed. Okay, she was their only daughter and they loved and cared her too much. Okay, our parents also love and care us too much. But now Rima talks too much. Mr. Sen is hoping that you and your friends will not trouble Malti. What he is saying that you and your friends will not trouble Malti. And then he got up from the dining table. And Rima and her friends were just going to do the same. This Rima and her friends, what they were going to do, they were just going to trouble Malti. Okay. Now in this passage, the new word is doted. Doted, which means to show excessive affection towards someone, and insufferable means that cannot be tolerated. Okay. So they were thinking that things which cannot be tolerated can be done by Rima. Next passage. Next morning, the minute Malti entered the class, they all chorused, "Good morning." Now, this poor Malti, she did not realize that they were making fun of her. She beamed back at them and replied, "Good morning." So, in this passage where Malti entered the class, Rima and her friends teased her in her tone. Okay, the tone which she used to say in the class. She even didn't realize that Rima and her friends are making fun of her. Okay, she looked back at them and smiled, and she also replied them that "Good morning." So in this passage, the new word is beamed. Beamed means to smile cheerfully or happily. So this Malti, she smiled at them happily and she replied them. Next para. Shahnaz giggled. "Why do you put so much oil on your hair?" she asked rudely. Now Malti looked offended but did not reply. "And the skirt, so long," said Catily. Malti flushed. She was about to say something when teacher entered. So in this passage, where Rima's group were all making fun of Malti, where Shahnaz asked, "Why you apply so much oil on your hair?" She asked in a bad manner, means very bad tone she said. And this poor Malti, she looked so upset, but she was not answering anything. After that, again the Claire, she asked about her skirt. "Why you are wearing so long skirt?" She also asked in a bad tone. Okay. Now Malti's face became red in an anger. Yes, whenever we become anger, our face becomes so much red. She was about to justify then, and then the teacher entered the class. Okay, when she was just going to justify them, she was going to reply them, the teacher entered the class. So in this passage, the new word is giggled. Giggled means to laugh in a silly way. And catily means a way to be means a way. Okay, and flushed means to become embarrassed. Next, as the class progressed, everyone was surprised to see Malti raise her hand whenever teacher asked a question. "Yes, Malti, you answer," said teacher. Malti answered correctly and teacher nodded in appreciation. When Rima recounted this at home, her mother said, "Sounds like a clever girl." Now in this passage, the school progressed. Everyone was shocked to see that Malti used to answer all the questions, and teacher used to praise Malti, and Rima narrated the whole story at her home, where her mother also replied that she seems to be a very smart girl. Yes, when we also go home and we tell about our clever girl of our class, our parents also say na that yes, she must be a clever girl. Okay, so in this passage the new word is progressed, which means to move forward, and recounted means to who is telling the narrative, the story which we are going to tell. Okay, told, or we can say narrated. Okay, moving to the next paragraph. "What is the use?" said Rima uncharitably. "Her English is so atrocious." "The same may be said of your Hindi," countered Mr. Sen sharply. He was getting quite sick of Rima's attitude. Even Mr. Sen did not like it. That night Rima's parents discussed the matter. "We put Rima into a good school to make her smart and confident. I'm afraid she is turning into a quiet little snob, said Mr. Sen sadly. So in this passage, Rima is still busy pointing on Malti's English rather than appreciating her knowledge and her cleverness. Okay, so here what Rima is doing is, instead of appreciating her cleverness, that Rima is so good girl, Malti is so good girl, she is still going and teasing her, and she is pointing on her English, what how the English she is going to speak. Her father countered her and replied as her is poor. What her father said, that even we can say about your Hindi, if you are good in English, but you are still very bad in Hindi. Same is with Malti. She is good in Hindi, but she is bad in English. And at night, Rima's parents discussed that they put Rima to a good school to be a smart and better person. Yes, our parents put to our school to a school is to become a smart girl, a smart person, or a good person. Yes, but her attitude was not good at others. So, what they are saying, that the attitude towards Malti was not good. Okay, now day by day, this Rima's attitude was becoming very bad. So, in this, the new word is uncharitably, which means is an unkind way. Atrocious means to a poor quality. Countered means to opposed. Okay, and snob means to someone who criticize people coming from lower social class or less educated. Okay, people think that they are very better than others, same like Rima was thinking that she is very much better than Malti. Okay, so first I'll read the passage for you. So the following Saturday was the inter-house singing competition. Rima, who was participating in the English song category, was surprised to see Malti's name in the list of participants for the Hindi song category. Oily plates sings also, she said sanely to Claire. Croaks, you mean? Giggled Claire. They were to be proved wrong. Malti sang beautifully. She had a melodious and well-trained voice. Rima and her gang had decided to jeer when Malti sang, but there was such absolute silence they did not dare to. So in this passage, school has conducted the inter-house singing competition, where Rima had participated in English song category and Malti participated in Hindi song category. Okay, so all the girls started making fun of her, but all got surprised as soon as Malti started singing because she sang very beautifully. She had a very trained and melodious voice. Okay, Rima and her gang decided to stop her while singing, but there was such a complete silence while singing, so no one even bothered to disturb her or made fun of her. Okay, they were listening very silently because the whole auditorium was very silent. So in this passage, the new words are snidely, which means in a nasty manner, croaks, which means making a rough or low sound like a frog makes. You have listened the voice of a frog. Okay, giggle means to make a rude remarkable in a loud voice. So now moving to the next passage. They were sure to get caught. When Malti finished, the principal was the first one to start clapping, followed by the teachers and students. No one was surprised when Malti won the first prize. Rima did come first in her category. Somehow she felt no joy. As the term progressed, it was abundantly clear to all that Malti was a bright child. She was quiet and studious and intelligent. She fared well in sports as well as in studies. So in this passage we learn that Rima and her gang were about to be caught when she done with her singing, and the principal was the first to praise her. Praise her means to clap, okay, to cheer up, followed which was followed by the teachers and also the students. Yes, when we also won any prize, our teachers clap for us, even our friends. So she won first prize where even Rima received first prize in her English category song. Okay, both had won the first prizes in their own categories. But she was not happy as she was jealous of Malti. This now Rima was not happy with Malti's prize. She was little bit jealous. Now everyone knew that Malti was a clever girl. Her overall progress was also excellent. She was good in sports, studies, everything she was very good. Okay, so in this passage the new word is abundantly, which means extremely. Okay, now moving to the next paragraph. Her forte was mathematics. Her simple appearance belied a sharp and nimble brain. Slowly, many of the girls began seeking her help in mathematics, help which she readily and cheerfully gave. The teachers had liked the respectful, intelligent girl from the beginning. Now, girls from the class also befriended her. Not Rima and her clique, though. They stubbornly disliked Malti. They were a stylish lot, and nothing that Malti did could alter the fact that she was not their type. They never lost a chance to poke fun at her, particularly her English. So, in this passage, we understand that Malti was good at maths. She was a simple with her appearance, okay? She was having a very sharp and quick brain, which now slowly all girls started talking and taking help of Malti, and she happily helped them. Okay, now everyone in the class started taking help of Malti, and even Malti was helping them. She did not say that you all have teased me, so I will not help you. She helped them very happily. Teachers used to like her from starting, and now all the girls started becoming friends of Malti. Now, leaving Rima's group, they didn't like Malti as she was not stylish. Okay, except the group of Rimas, they were not liking her. Okay, and other all girls started talking with Malti. She was from the village, so they were not liking her. So in this passage, the new word is to fort. Fort means something one is good at. Okay, to fort means something one is good at. At belied, which means fail to give a true expression. Now next one. Malti felt bad about their behavior. One day, she was on the verge of tears when Rima mocked at her mercilessly because she said, "Ask us" instead of "ask." Her voice trembling, Malti said, "I know my English is weak, yours is good." So, in this passage, Malti's experience was regretted. She was about to cry when Rima laughed at her because she made a mistake. Instead of ask, she said, "Ask us." Okay, and she was completely shaken. She convinced and expected that I know my English is weak. Okay, she said that my English is weak, I know, and it is very poor, and yours is very excellent. You are very good in English. Okay, she cried and she said to Rima. Now in this new word is mocked. Mocked means to laugh at somebody. Okay, laugh when we laugh at somebody, so on some we tease at somebody, it is called mocked. Verge of tears means about to cry. She was just going to cry. That is called verge of tears. Now the next passage. Forward to the next passage is, "Please, will you help me to improve it?" "I won't be able to help you, my dear," replied Rima with an exaggerated accent. "Speaking proper English isn't easy for you, countrified types." Malti's face turned red. She wanted to retort but could not find the right words. She burst into tears and ran off. In this passage, what we see that Malti requested Rima that will you help me to improve my English skills, where Rima replied that learning English is not simple and for a girl like you is difficult. Okay, so this Rima, she regretted that learning English is not very easy to you, like a girl which is come from a village. So Malti became very angry on her. Okay, she became very red. She wanted to reply, but she wanted to answer that she was having no words and started crying and ran away. Okay, she didn't reply her anything and she just ran away. So in this, the new word is countrified, which means belonging to rural areas. Now the last. "That was horrid," Rima said Shahnaz. "Yes," agreed Neha and Claire roundly. Rima was shocked. Her own friends had turned against her. She walked off in a huff. Mr. Sen found her subdued over lunch but decided not to ask anything. Rima knew that she had behaved very badly. She was too proud to admit it, even to herself. So, in this last passage, we understand that Rima's friend Shahana said that this time you were horrible. And Neha and Claire also agreed to this sentence. They both agreed her completely. Okay, but horrible she was. What Shahana is saying that Rima is behaving very horrible. Okay, now Rima got surprised and ran angrily. Why she got surprised? Because her own friends were turned beyond her. Okay, they were not taking her side. Okay, and her mother looked at Rima that she was so quiet at her lunch. Her mother saw at Rima that she was so quiet. Okay, and they did not ask her anything. knew that her behavior was very bad, she was behaving very bad, but she was getting scared to confess. Okay, so she was very getting scared to confess that how I will say that she has behaved with Malti. Okay, from this last passage we learn the new word is subdued, which means to be quiet, and off in a hunt means in a bad mood. Before we end from this lesson, what we are going to learn is that do not judge a book by its cover. This is a quote, that do not judge a book by its cover, which means what? Do not judge a person by his or her way of talking or dressing style. Okay, in our class also there must be some girls, some boys who don't know to speak English, or they must be have come from village side, so we should not teach them, but what we have to do is we have to help them. Okay, student, so this was all about Malti and Rima, about their journey in their school, and what we are going to learn from this is not to tease anyone. Okay, not to laugh at anyone, so we should help everyone and we should be friend with everyone. Okay, so read the lesson, read the new words, try to pronounce the new words, and I'll give you the meanings of the new words. Thank you.